nabariki baitu beandirite chingaki chons aseng'encho yao eariganie asobotengari butari n'omubwekano. Eye n'Ensoko TV oboroso bw'omugusi.
Mwanchumo rigereria Ensoko TV mambyenenge yeri tukeriga hari 13 somutinyo kabiro mwaka w'echilifu 2025 na rimu nokugera kwane buna hambu yogendreta semambya bono andonsi asura semiremo yago aso kwerigeria ase obunjiri ase gose asekende gyonsikeri okore mambya bono nabo gonogendreta kubwatia Ensoko TV kuro chinse 12 cheke mambi gwekera boni kana ende chinse nye cha Afrika ya muchango kwarigania erituchiko yanyora ali agendreta kokwarekana mambya bono aso kumurekera ali agendreta kuro chinse mo ase orgongo rwa sisko rongorwa gusigwika isko yense yetu Kenya somo rubiri yega Etorobini go chakera bono gweka chinsa isano ne mocha bono mubaso yabwatie gwetera senchire yo mutandao wekrero Facebook rawega sensemo area ya YouTube Ensoko TV namba ya mawasiliano ase ujumbe enyenge nigere noti isano na ibire isano na isatu isano ne momara gatano omwerio beka isato karibu tusange asobwamo ase aria nkwariganeretie ase mambia bono buna basake baito na barabwo babekiro mukikwene kinanko wekirale asenchira ere engikirano ase emambia eyiga tuchaka asobwamo ereteriane Ishmael Mogere. Asomo chakana hemambia yabono ekeraboro chikosori chichi skuru choboroso chia chakirebene anene kigima sekuru ensemo ya ebase bono nigo aborokyo be chikosori ne chimbiro kurwa sebase ya keberesi besokiri gukwanire mechando eyo aboroki wabo babere bagwetira no nyene ekero bagendrete kubite mibyegwa byabo abwase basebere serikali komento gusira guchia sechi skuru anene kigima asebyegwa chingaki echiga cha masomo CBE naryo barache goko ase amatukari bosyo gwetera ase ebyegwa byekigosori tikango toraligerera linara lyagendrete kurwa sorogongo rwagusi
Daddy from Kiru Comprehensive School no torega igasakoro kukeberesi tokorosie base tore no mogoka sengenche yabana barega iga bakuminyoka buya abali mutoko bwaterana nona Bible nindoche ngambarange gaiga igonto gogete sana so gushirikiana yakora batatu goikaba bamo ebintu byonse bimanya ko babuya bono nyasaye no muya atuanjire twikire gaiga namangana ebuna togende tokonya kora gendre tokonya mwana ondete yobeire bobe konsimbi abali nande bagendre tokokora emirimo emiya bona batwarenge gosabanga togendere kubwaterana butambe nabo igo abaiboli mwabana omoyo kurunga na intutoko banyora twaba omoyo egere ba participate gakora twamanyire nga okora yayiga agotoka CBC gochimotu nabo monta akogesa bona intuna batayite twigiri abana kurunsa iga gochimotu nabo bakogesa gotobuganga na masomo ke classine noni gaiga nabo bakora buya sana
ina roto gosaba ano gaiga no tore timu enene yabalimu abana tolegeti because of talents. Talents are part of running, na gonna batwalo taka even the Ministry of Education. If mona se talents baligereri kero to identify the runners na baba ko give even support. Omwano na ba ko genda bosyo because many have developed in their families because of talents. For example, we have our faith from Kisi and the Mura Sindio. Nobody's talents. So, these talents from grassroots. It's good even the ministry to support to the higher level. Abana na obako and even outside the country. Bekero, Babuate talent, Yavan and Banyo, the support from the ministry.
Gotigana nayo watikene chikoseri ase oburayi bwabasaya ase kiama kia ODM gose Youth League NGC nigabasokire na gosange osena gosingerera buna chinga kichugo chaka gukwanira igoro ya serikali yobomwe gati ya Kenya Kwanza ni kiama kia ODM kegwika basaye babere ose abasaye babere bwache ko basemesa ase nginchi abasaye asa mangana gukwanira mangana bwatikene nabasaye ase egikare kyo gukwana kurasa mu chuma chakoze nigo boigo babolire serikali kubwatuka chibilioni 12 kiama kia ODM erigo konya kuruberia emeruberie kiama bosi bobochoryo bonene bo mwaka w'echilifu 2025 na kabire buna bakwerera asema mbiyiga.
Tuko tayari kulinda chama chetu.
Tuko tayari. Tuko tayari kulinda chama chetu. Tuko tayari.
Tuko tayari kulinda chama chetu.
Tuko tayari. Tuko tayari kulinda chama chetu. Tuko tayari.
Chama cha chungwa ni chama chetu sana.
Chama cha chungwa. Chama cha chungwa ni chama chetu sana. Chama cha chungwa.
The Youth League NGC discussed and considered the resolution of the Central Committee held on 12th January 2026. The NGC unanimously adopted all the resolutions made by the committee, cognizant of the fact that the national election are fast approaching. The Youth League NGC mandated the party leader to oversee the negotiations on behalf of the ODM party in the pre-election arrangements with other political parties in the interest of the common Mwananchi's well-being. Number 3, adoption of the NEC resolution. The Youth League NGC discussed the resolution made by the NEC in Mombasa on 11th February 2026. Unanimously, the NGC adopted the resolution made by NEC in entirety. In particularly, the NGC supports the appointment of Honorable Catherine Omanyo as the acting Secretary General of the party. And we say acting capacity. Number 4, compensation for the victims of human rights violation. The NGC was cognizant of the committee put in place to oversee the implementation of the 10-point agenda and the NADCO report. In particular, the NGC is concerned with the compensation of the victims of police brutality, since, as the organ of the party, we have lost most of our members to political violence. The NGC calls upon all stakeholders to urgently address the challenge facing the actualization of the compensation to the victims. Mechanism to strengthen the party at the grassroots level. The Youth League NGC supports the Linda Ground initiative being undertaken by the party structure. However, the Youth League would want the Linda Ground movement to be devolved to county level rather than regional level, to ensure that all our members at grassroots level are incorporated and listened to. Number 5, party list and nominations. The Youth League re-emphasized the need for the party to consider the party youths who stand and fight for the party at the grassroots level in the nomination slots during elections. The NGC also pleads with the party to ensure free and fair elections during party primaries so that the rightful candidates are given the opportunity to carry the flag of the party in the forthcoming general election. Seats at the negotiation table. The NGC unanimously supports the pre-election negotiations spearheaded by our party leader, Dr. Buru Odinga. Additionally, the Youth League requests the party to accommodate at least 2 youths nationally from the party at the negotiation table ahead of 2027 general election. Thank you.
Before I give 2 of our leaders to speak, I just want to also say two words. One, we have unanimously agreed as young people of this party that we have welcomed the decision made at Vipingo by the Central Committee of the party, together with the one that has been made in Mombasa recently, that we are activating a negotiation with our partners within broad-based. And therefore, because we all know that there is no a single party that can rule this country, there must be coalitions, there must be consultations, and there must be negotiation. And therefore, we as ODM party, since we have resolved not to field a candidate, because we all know our candidate, who is Baba, left us just recently. Therefore, we have not even recovered ourselves, and therefore we have no candidate to present as our presidential candidate. Therefore, we have to negotiate with our broad-based partners, and in that negotiation table, the Youth League here has resolved that Haiwi Bila Sisi, that in that table, the young people of this party must be present, and therefore they have nominated two people, that is a man and a lady, and that those names will be presented to the Central Committee. It is part of our resolutions today. We are therefore also, the other issue that we also that came up on this matter that must be addressed immediately is the issue of political party funding. As a party, we have a very elaborate plan for the young people all over the country. Mashinani huko chini kabisa. We will want to engage those young people because we want to carry everyone along. And therefore, for us to be able to do that, we must have the resources to reach them down. The resources even to print the merchandise, the resources even to communicate, and even the resources to put them together. And therefore, we are demanding from the government that please release our money. We know the guy in charge of finances is one of our experts. He's one of our members. He also has interest of even becoming the deputy president. Therefore, we are telling Badi, please stop these games that you are playing with us, that we are playing with this party. By next week, if we don't receive that money, don't blame us when we refuse to present your name. Because we as young people, we will refuse to submit that name.
Yes.
We will refuse to submit that name.
Yes.
Therefore, we have given you only 1 week. Release our money. Release our 12 billion. Because we also want to cover, to be seen, and we want to be heard, and we want to consult our young people in Mashinani, and they are waiting for us. And you know our structures. It is at the polling station. That is where our membership is, and we have to reach them. Therefore, we are demanding that within 1 week, pesa yetu bilioni 12 ikuwe hapo chini. The other thing that we have also said as young people here, these 47 youth leaders, they are not, some of them, they are not part of the NDC. Na leo tumesema na tumemwambia chama, among those delegates who have been incorporated, they must be the priority in that NDC because they represent the voice of young people from their counties.
Ase ense moyende ense ya Kenya nigagendere tukurikia umubaro munene bw'abantu abo bagotarira ense ya Kenya kurwo chinsi chaisiko ya nyabatali abo ase umubaro yo gwikira bori ga milioni 2 chinu gutenye na gwika umwaka bwe chilfu emeronge bere na isano nebere ningo umubaro yo kagere gukina gwika milioni 5 chinu gutaisano gukwara sege karogia kane kia Global Tourism Resilience Day Conference and Expo mu waziri wa mangane chinsi chaisiko Musalia Mudavadi nigaene kiribuna ense ya Kenya ni go yenyorere ebirengo byegoro byenibo ebyo byakinire kurwa chibilion chimyebere merongo 5 na chibilion chimyebere merongo 5 na gatano na rimwe isano na isataso mwaka we chilfira merongo ebere na isato weka chibilion chimyenye merongo 5 na ibere aso mwaka we chilfira merongo ebere na inya sapo iko atogiro bokoreri bo mu waziri obono Rebecca Miano asokora ewizari yo asinchira erendonge.
The COVID-19 pandemic reminded us that resilience is a critical imperative in tourism. As we live here, let us join hands to build systems that can withstand disruption, adapt swiftly, and recover sustainably. 3 key commitments come to mind. 1, the need to mainstream resilience into every tourism policy and investment decision. 2, the imperative of accelerating climate action within the tourism sector. And 3, to strengthen global partnerships that will enable shared learning and coordinated responses to crisis. For Kenya, we are ready and committed to continue working with all partners of tourism, resilience organizations, governments, academia, and the private sector to advance a tourism sector that is sustainable, inclusive, and future-ready. I call upon you present here today to collaborate, since solitary action is as good as mute. The exchange of knowledge among nations represented here today has been inspiring. We have seen how innovation, policy coherence, and resilience, investing in resilience, crisis response, data-driven defense, and regional cooperation can transform vulnerability into opportunity. And we have also seen more international tourists. I think we got about 2.4 million from the international arena, and the target is to hit 5.5 million by next year, end of next year. So that is a very good trajectory, and we want to assure all the practitioners in this sector that we remain committed to developing our tourist sector to its full potential. Let me take this opportunity to appreciate the efforts of the Ministry of Tourism, led by Rebecca Miano, giving it a solid profile. The figures, as I was telling her, are looking good. In 2023, tourism earned us about 268 billion Kenya shillings. By end of 2024, the figures that have come through indicate that it rose to about 452 billion Kenya shillings. That is a rise of about 65 to 68% in terms of revenues. Under the leadership of His Excellency President William Ruto, we have embraced tourism resilience as a national priority. Currently, we are investing in diversified tourism products, expanding beyond traditional wildlife safaris to include cultural tourism, ecotourism, MICE tourism, sports tourism, gastronomy tourism, and digital innovation in travel services. Additionally, we are committed to strengthening public-private partnerships, enhancing sustainability standards to protect our natural heritage, from the iconic savannas of the Masai Mara to our pristine coastline along the Indian Ocean.
Asense muyende gwetera okubwatira negatie bunge nene ya Senate nigo bono muswada orengeti guchokonya bari mebeka hawa gose coffee bill Senate bill namba ya 10 yo mwaka gw'ekili fibera 2023 oyetigwe n'ekibunge echwebere asabana urachikuira gwikwa asumura ibwense Dr. William Samuel Ruto eriabe kese ina bono muswada yo ochikobari chiko asebunge ya Senate nigaba senator bago keiru muswada na kwegera buna nuchigusira abarimi imeyense buna bakwerera
Having considered the Coffee Bill Senate 10 of 2023, the committee observed, 1. The coffee law will help to regulate the coffee industry in Kenya, as it will ensure that producers and manufacturers comply with established standards and guidelines. This will help in improving the quality of coffee products and ensure the consumers are protected from harmful and substandard products. 2. A clear legal framework for the coffee industry will make it easier for investors to understand the regulatory environment and make informed decisions about investing in the sector. This can lead to increased investment in coffee production and processing facilities, which will create jobs and drive economic growth. 3. The Coffee Bill 2023 has provisions that protect domestic coffee producers from unfair competition from foreign imports and middlemen. This will help to support local coffee production and ensure that Kenya's coffee industry remains viable and sustainable. 4. The coffee industry is an important part of Kenya's agricultural sector, and promoting the growth and development of the industry will promote food security in the country. This is especially important given Kenya's dependence on imported coffee and other food products. 5. A well-regulated coffee industry will generate significant revenue for the Kenyan government through taxes and other fees. This revenue will be used to support important social programs and infrastructure projects. The committee, having reviewed the Coffee Bill, Senate 10 of 2023, recommends that the House approves the bill with amendments as proposed in the schedule in Chapter 5 of this report.
Mstahiki Spika, naunga mkono sheria ambayo imeletwa hapa na kusomwa na mwenyekiti wa kamati ya kulima katika bunge la Seneti. Mstahiki Spika, leo najivunia kusimama mbele ya Seneti kuangazia mswada wa kahawa ambao niliudhamini kama seneta wa Kirinyaga na kuungwa mkono na bunge zima la Seneti. Mstahiki Spika, safari ya kukuza kahawa ilianza kabla wa mwaka 1932 wakati wa Lowezi. Na Mstahiki Spika, kahawa si zao tu. Kahawa ni urithi wetu. Mstahiki Spika, fedha za kigeni zinazoletwa na wakulima wa kahawa nchini ni takriban milioni 293 milioni dola za Kimarekani. Mstahiki Spika, wakulima wanaohusika moja kwa moja katika ukulima wa kahawa nchini ni takriban wakulima milioni 1. Na Mstahiki Spika, gatuzi ama kaunti ambazo zinazohusika katika kukuza kahawa ni gatuzi 33. Kwa hivyo Mstahiki Spika, tunapoongea mambo ya kahawa ni mambo ambayo ni muhimu sana kwa Kenya hii na ni muhimu sana pia kwa wakulima yetu. Na ndiyo maana Mstahiki Spika, mimi nikiwa mkulima wa kahawa, ninapokuongea mambo ya kahawa wakati mwingine na huwa nashikwa na hisia kwa sababu ya mambo ambayo mambo mazito ambayo mkulima wa kahawa amekuwa akipitia. Mstahiki Spika, ndio mtu wa kahawa uanze kuzaa kahawa mara ya kwanza, inahitajika kuupanda, kupalilia na kupatia mbolea kwa miaka 3 ndio uanze kupata zao la kwanza. Na Mstahiki Spika, mara kwa mara wakati kahawa inapofikia kuvunwa, unapata wakilitimba ndo wanaingilia na kuweza kuchukua fedha ambazo zinafaa kuwa za wakulima. Na ndio maana Mstahiki Spika, sheria tulipopitisha juzi ambayo inaratibu utendakazi wa vyama vya ushirika katika kuangazia zao la kahawa imekuwa ni na maana kubwa sana kuhakikisha kwamba fedha inapopatikana katika soko la kahawa kutoka katika jiji la Nairobi inaenda mpaka mashinani na kusaidia wakulima.
Mr. Speaker, this issue of coffee, you have had more than 30 counties depend on coffee. I'm informed even in your county, places like your constituency, Chepalungu, Ndanai, Nyamira, we have also Bungoma, Nandi, Mr. Speaker, and many other counties including Kirinyaga, Kiambu. Most of these counties depend on coffee, and we have coffee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for the statistics of the House, are you aware 12.6% of the population of this world consume daily at least a cup of coffee, Mr. Speaker? And in fact, from the statistics that we have, this is approximately 1 billion people consume coffee, Mr. Speaker. So there is a huge market that we need to harness for the coffee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, annually 10 billion kilograms of coffee is being consumed or sold annually, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it's also important that the House knows that 66% of the Americans must take coffee, Mr. Speaker. It is like in the people who take the other drink that is not juice and water, kutoa lock with the indulgence of the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. So I want to confirm, Mr. Speaker, that the pricing, the issue of coffee is very important, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the committees for our cleanup of the bill, Mr. Speaker. We have debated, we have passed, but I'm happy today my farmers in Nandi County will celebrate that finally their journey of receiving and getting a legal framework to assist them. And this is our work.
There are so many things that this bill has presented, and a good number of them are bringing in the management of the crop. To those of us who are beginners, we are very delighted with the fact that the bill is going to continue to promote evidence-based coffee research so that we have research for every region of this country. Mr. Speaker, coffee can be one of the best earners of foreign exchange in the country, Kenya. We know that when the regulations were relaxed a little bit so that farmers can also process and export their coffee, people are actually amazed that they can sell even, they can export their coffee for much higher than the 1 million we are talking about when we only bulk the crop. Also, one of the areas that had been ignored for a very long time, which is being brought in by this bill, is the extension services. Extension services are extremely important because not everybody who did BSc Agriculture in any of our universities concentrated on one crop. So it was general and everybody was doing general crops. So we need a new team of extension workers that can deal with coffee, right from the disease prevention to everything coffee management, including the soils analysis so that we plant the right coffee seedlings in the right places in our farms. So it is really very, very encouraging that this bill is going to promote again a farmer-centered way of managing a crop, because this bill is focusing on how the farmers can reap the most, and it's also focusing on how farmers can be trained to do value addition. This is something that's extremely important. We have talked of value addition, we have talked of Kenya and even the whole continent of Africa suffering from selling raw material always. And coffee is one of those that used to be sold when it is in raw material. So we need to reach the value, the highest level of value addition so that we can retain the jobs here and we can retain also technology here. And if there is need for technology transfer, it's only when we are ready to maximize on value addition. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my colleagues who were in the committee led by Senator Morango for the decline, because it also educated the other members and made the members of the National Assembly understand why the Senate was focusing on this the way they are focusing. Again, I like the fact that this Senate is looking at the sectors that have been devolved very seriously, and since agriculture is devolved, then we don't just follow what has been rejected, but look at it and explain to them, and I saw this in the mediation.
Mr. Speaker, it's very difficult to get a law, to get a bill converted into a law in this current bicameral setup. It now appears that you need an average of 3 years for a legislative proposal to get to the point where there is agreement on it. Mr. Speaker, now that the mediation committee that comprised members from both houses of parliament have agreed on a version that is acceptable, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank members who have debated and who have agreed that we take the amendments that have been suggested by the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, this is the true lawmaking, that the Senate can originate a bill or the National Assembly can originate a bill, and if there is disagreement, we don't fight in public or we don't insult each other. We sit in mediation, go clause by clause, and ensure that we are in agreement on the final outcome. And Mr. Speaker, I really look forward, and I hope that the head of state is going to assent to this bill immediately the two houses dispense with this motion. And I want to call on Senator Morango that despite whatever political convictions you might have, this is such an important bill that you might need to be present at State House to witness its assent, because you have fought for the farmers, you have fought for the coffee farmers. When you are my chair in the Agriculture Committee, you spoke with passion about the fate of agriculture and the fate of farmers in this country. Mr. Speaker, we know Senator Morango has even gone to court to ensure that our economy is not flooded with the cheap rice imports that would kill the farmers of Mwea, the farmers of Kano, the farmers of Ahero. So Senator Murango, this one, go to State House. This one, witness the signing. This one, demand to take the pen that has been used to sign that particular piece of legislation, because that is a parliamentary tradition that when you come up with such a good legislative proposal, you need to be there when it's being assented.
Bimano mwanchumo riria ase ogochora Ensoko TV burusumu gusina buge kwendera kubwatia aria togendera tukumanya ase mambia jabora seboro nigo tukurasi umiri chiduka keigo na nyuma yayo ningina na yanda mange ase mambia bono gendera gotengera ayande guchimutwiga.
Ensoko TV, oboroso bumugusi. Je, una ndoto kufanya kazi ughaibuni? Mwakala wa ALM tutakuwezesha kutimiza ndoto yako. Tunatoa ajira katika nyanja mbalimbali kwenye mataifa ya Qatar, Milki za Kiarabu, Saudia, Bahrain, bara Europa, miongoni mwa mengine.
We are legally registered by the National Employment Authorities and we are licensed to do manpower recruitment for different countries. Currently, we are reaching companies in UAE, in Qatar, Russia, and we are hoping to enlarge our boundaries.
Kwa maelezo zaidi, wasiliana nasi kwa nambari 0721511500 au 0729690571 au unaweza kutembelea katika ofisi zetu zilizopo jijini Nairobi katika jumba la Delta House, orofa ya pili, chumba nambari 204 katika barabara ya University Way.
Tupigie simu utimize ndoto yako ya ng'ambo. Karibuni sana.
Nuganete betri uratumia segari yao. Ebetri uguchachirimo ugakweba. Ebetri ulegene chinga kichonsi ebenga kieliberera gusenga kiyobokendu. Tawe chanika. Autobat Kenya Limited no tulegigiga asengencho yao. Nigo tokorosia na koni chibetri uratumia chinga kichonsi. Chibetri uratumia asegari enke ebasi no nyaneli kurukuru.
Kupitia pale kwa gari yako tutahakikisha tumeweka na tumekupimia charging system ya gari na pia tumekupimia battery na kila kitu itakuwa iko sawa.
Alright. Sasa na ikileta shida kabla hii warranty ishe itakuwa namna gani?
Ikikusumbua kabla ya warranty utakuja, alafu tukishaiangalia tutakupatia battery ya kushikilia tukiendelea kuangalia yako.
Talia yoka na battery yechinguru.
Battery ya Autobat ni battery ambayo ni spill proof. Kumaanisha hiyo battery haimwagi acid ile ambayo iko ndani. Hiyo battery imetengenezwa na calcium. Kama vile tunajua calcium hainanga water loss. Kumaanisha sasa hiyo battery hakuna wakati ambayo inakauka hiyo acid.
Asamange twakirisimi namba 0739697855.
Kwa wale watu wakuja mstatiwa, wachana na battery kama hizi. Tumia Autobat. Battery ni Autobat.
Buchomano Nairobi, Kisii, Nyamira, Nechingongo chinde chense ya Kenya. Abariki baitomba bakorentera mangana magia asenchira y'obwikirano. Emanya mange nabo igobwatira n'Ensoko TV koigeka chingenjo cy'omugusi. Ensoko TV, oboroso bw'omugusi. Ubugima n'urugendo rubwata mange. Amaya n'amabe. Umusakito Linet Nyambane niga ngaririe imena ishiko ya gusi na gusanga naba yaeteire naba yaetera.
Nchekera na ibole twe unango tebiwa na ibole tukinde buya ngakina kine buya ekera na chibike miaka sta ngachaka ngotifero po ngoira samagoro wani kamenya gutokanga na twali rogo ona wacha gitego
aya nime yo muroberyo bumwenori kirali tukule Jumatano chinsabiri chabutuko imeya Ensoko TV oboroso bumugusi
kera kama tingatara daigeta oni ya Nyamira na rena shauri sangwe ngararo moijana umozu bate ya mabwari
Morigeri bwa Ensoko TV oyo no muroberio gwo kongoria mareko na inje mwana mboka Edwin Yang'au turabe tukumira na kira litukurie iki guchakera chinsa 11 chamogoroba wikense yemo ya butuko kugwakorire imirimo yawo yerituko kwabukire orosete uikaransitero ya ubuyanda chitasekerugo orambulete mirondo kunyagusibero ngoli na hali ya screen ni chingero chikoletwa na mwanambuka Edwin Yang'au ano to konyora chingero chionsi echiegita na chobenga kwa nubukano echiembegetere ndo gesongengo to amereria
bakaliya omotoya kabwatwa ole bakaliya omotoya kabwatwa amatukemero ngena gaika kabwatwa
Eye n'Ensoko TV oboroso bumugusi.
Karibu na ino mwanchu mwerigeria eritogendera kumurekera haya ndamange mambia ya bore me Ensoko TV burusubo mugusi asemu chakare nseme ya kabira barayi kurwa sekiama kia ODM na UDA ni oba mochiri yo kabiro murayo karibu ensi ya Kenya Uhuru Kenyatta asoko swana na mangana arengete kiama kia ODM ayuagendera tekwiriro gwatana nikana gwe kiama ekyo abarayi abu bakorogwa na Faruku Kibet mubunge bwe semu ya Malava David Ndakwa amo no mugabara we county Kakamega Fernandez Baraza bagukwara kurwa se ward ya Kabras ni oba mochiri Uhuru Kenyatta goseni goba muboririe gwetigana siasa na koba asumutimuko buna ebwenerete chingaki obochori oboke boroberi guchiko kwa kada style kya 25 na mumuti enyoyo igase ekerugo kyobwa MC ward ya West Kabras ni gobo igoba asabira bakichikura kwenekia omurembe ase obochori obwo oboke.
Uhuru Kenyatta afanye nini? Anatoa pesa ya kuitisha mikutano ambayo si halali. Nyinyi watu ya Western Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta alikuja hapa? Hapana. Aliwatengenezea barabara? Hapana. Kwa nini unatoa pesa ya kukonganisha wa Kenya? Ashindwe ama asishindwe? Ashindwe. Wamama mnaamua aende ama asiende? Yeye anatoa pesa ya kuzunguka kwa miji mkubwa mkubwa. Ati walianza sijui wapi, wanakuja wapi? Watu ya Malava mnasema washindwe ama asishindwe? Tunajua wewe Uhuru Kenyatta umeanza kutoa pesa ulichukua kwa Kenya. Na sisi tunakuambia hiyo pesa yako hiyo unatoa kiolela. Serikali itaenda kufunga hiyo pesa yako na wewe hakuna kitu utafanya katika hii jamhuri yetu ya Kenya. Hiyo ni sawa si sawa? Aende ama siende? Tumwambie tusimwambie? Kwani yeye ni nani? Si alikuwa president ya Kenya? Si anaitwa retired president? Kwani nyinyi mmeenda retire? Si lazima mtazaa watoto watakuwa president? Wangapi wanasema Uhuru Kenyatta aende? We will not entertain politics of division in this country. Wameona barabara inajengwa kutoka Malava inaelekea Samizi. Sasa wameshindwa na sisi tunaona ya kwamba lazima hii area ijengwe. Hata inyeshe, mheshimiwa, inyeshe ndio Uhuru apotee. Ndio wakulima waende shamba, aende ama masiende. Na tunajua ametoa pesa ya kuzunguka Kenya. Wewe utashindwa, atashindwa ama atashindwa? Anafikiri Waluya ni watu ya kudanganywa? Anafikiri Waluya ni wale wa zamani? Wako na simu na wanakuambia ng'oo. Hebu mueleze so walisema wanataka mtu mwingine mkachakua Ndakwa. Imagine Ndakwa from MCA to MP. Hebu mpige hiyo makofi. Yaani umwana uno mnashindwa kweli. Huyu kijana si mtampatia? Mtadanganywa na chama ya ukabila? Rigathi Gachagua ni mkabila, si mkabila? Ni mkabila. Anataka kudanganya nyinyi kupitia Malala, mtakubali? Ambie Riswa. Ambia Malava ngo. Malava ngo. Mtu ambaye alikuwa naibu wa rais hakukuja Malava. Leo atakuja Malava na ukora. Nyinyi mtaamini? Semeni Riswa. Semeni Riswa. Aende ama siende? Aende. Watu ya Malava si watu ya kudanganya, wanajua cha kufanya. Mtapigia nani kura? Hebu tuseme shala. Shala. Huyu mremba ameongea sawa? Anaitwa Turufu. Nyinyi muache mkae hapa Malava, muende mtangatange mkutano. Mtaenda? Mimi nitarudi hapa nikae na nyinyi Saturday. Nirudi nisirudi? Na mimi niweke rally kubwa hapa Malava ama nisiweke? Tunataka watu ambaye wanatafuta mikutano kubwa kubwa wawache mikutano za town, wafanyie wananchi kazi. Watu ya Malava, mnataka kazi ama mtaki kazi? Mnataka kutembea na vitina? Mnataka mfanyiwe kazi? Ati imagine watu wanatoka wilaya kuleta maandamano hapa Kakamega. Mtakubali hiyo? Ati maneno ya matusi. Leta maendeleo Musuma. Leta maendeleo Buruzu. Leta maendeleo Sawawa. Leta maendeleo Kambujisu. Leta maendeleo. Leta maendeleo. Leta maendeleo. Washindwe ama wasishindwe. Mimi nataka nione kama tunaungana na nyinyi kwamba hatutaki siasa ya ukabila.
Hii uongozi haijakujia chama moja. Jamii ziko Kenya mingi sana, 52, na kila jamii lazima itest power yake ya Kenya. Na ndio maana nataka kuambia Waluya, mkiwa na nafasi ya kukaa kwa mesa na kabila zingine, msicheze siasa ya entertainment. Lazima Waluya waamue ya kwamba wanataka kucheza siasa ya kupata power na siasa ya kupata development. Tukisema tucheze siasa entertainment ya kutumiwa kila siku, sisi hatutapata uongozi. Na William Samoei Ruto lazima aende tamu 2 kama wengine vile walienda tamu 2. Mwai Kibaki alienda tamu 2. Uhuru alienda tamu 2. Walikuwa wakifanya hivyo, Ruto akiwasaidia kwa uongozi. Ruto hakuwasumbua. Itakujaje wakati Ruto amechukua, hiyo kabila moja ndio inasumbua. Lazima tuhakikishe ya kwamba Ruto amepatiwa peace na tamu yake 2. Na decision yenye alichukua, hiyo ni decision ilikuwa delayed kwa manifesto za wale walipita. President wale walikuwa nyuma, walikuwa pia na affordable housing, hawakuwa wanafanya. Walikuwa na health care, hawakuwa wanafanya. Decision hii yote ya kujenga masoko walikuwa nazo, hawakuwa wanafanya. Ndiyo wakati Mheshimiwa William Samoei Ruto amekuja na kuchukua decision ngumu sana, ndio inamsumbua saa hii. Na lazima Wakenya tumpatie muda, hauwezi kuwa kwa miaka 3 umemaliza kufanya uchumi wa Kenya ukue mzuri. Na ile uchumi anarekebisha saa hii, ile iliharibiwa na Uhuru Kenyatta. Kwa hivyo Uhuru Kenyatta ajue ya kwamba ile funding anapatia watu wengine kuweka mikutano mingi, akisumbua Kenya. Yeye alifanya tamu yake ikaisha, awache Ruto afanye yake. Na Ruto akimaliza, sisi Western pia tuko kwa line. Na sisi watu wa Western tunataka ya kwamba Tukitaka tupate serikali ya 2032, lazima tukue kwa serikali ya William Samoei Ruto.
Ni nini umeleta Mtsuma primary? Ni nini umeleta Mtsuma secondary? Ni nini umeleta kwa msikiti? Ni nini umeleta kwa Friends? Ni nini umeleta kwa PCU? Ni nini umeleta kwa PH? Ni nini umeleta kwa timu Mringeti? Si ndio? Haya yote ndio maendeleo. Tunataka maendeleo, sio siasa ya Shihaya Tawe.
Atu wanaita mkutano kama hii alafu wanaenda free. Hakuna free? Na hiyo pesa Uhuru mkule Kakamega kabisa. Mfanya after William Ruto 2032 atakuwa rais wa Kenya, wapende wasipende. Muluya to take over the leadership of this country. Mimi nilisimama hapa nikasema mungwana anaitwa David Ndakwa awe mbunge. Ndakwa analeta maendeleo ama aleti? Anajenga shule ajengi? Mtadanganya na hawa?
Asense mwende bunge nene imense nigo yasera seiki ya kabira sebi karubia echinga kyumo bunge bwensemu ya kitutu chache South Anthony Kibagendi abekerwe bitango asege kienge guche kogendera kobera se bunge enene ase limocho yo kubwatu kamangana gwetera asege taseni getibye ayware maminchano bokorerwe bunge enene monogerwe bunge enene Moses Wetangula nigo amuganiri Anthony Kibagendi gusabo kwabera bosiwe bunge yo amanya wanchirwa gosoa ase bunge enene.
As he said all these things, the Speaker of this House does not have a vote. The Speaker of this House does not participate in debate. The Speaker of this House does not generate debate. The Speaker does not bring any motion to this House. The Speaker does not bring any bill to this House. And the Speaker, even when you vote on matters, when you have roll calls, appoints tellers who bring the outcome to the Speaker to announce the results. The Speaker doesn't even count those votes. And I want to tell this House and the country, for the record, that since I became your Speaker, and I'm a God-fearing and practicing Christian, nobody, and I repeat, nobody, has ever called me as your Speaker to tell me what to do or not to do. And if anybody did, I will reject it. Because you voted for me and I took an oath of office to preside over your proceedings without fear, favor, prejudice, or ill will. And I've done so very diligently. I'm human. I could have made an erroneous ruling. I could have made a ruling that displeases anybody. But the rulings I make here are buttressed by the law. I may misinterpret the law, like many lawyers can do, but that is the right I have as your Speaker. So for you, as a member of this House, first to say the House has been auctioned, then you have no business to sit in an auctioned House. So what, and this is not a matter I'm going to invite the member to explain himself, because I saw and heard with my own eyes and ears. So Honorable Kibagendi, you will be excluded from the sitting of this House until you bring a properly worded apology, not to me. I'm used to being insulted, to the House. To the House. For bringing the House in disrepute, and that apology should be delivered to the clerk. It will be looked at carefully. If the wording is acceptable, then it will be brought to the House and you will be allowed to come back to the House. For now, you are excluded from the proceedings of this House, the pressings of Parliament, the committee sittings, including your office in Parliament.
Honorable Speaker, in this era of rapidly expanding international trade and integration of world economies, migration policies must be geared towards building and maintaining a fair opportunity platform for both nationals and foreigners, while protecting vulnerable groups and ensuring sustainable development of the local human resource, while expatriates contribute the transfer of knowledge, investment, and skill development, it is imperative that their engagement in the local job market does not undermine employment opportunities for qualified Kenyan citizens, especially the youth. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I request for a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Administration and Internal Security on the following. 1, a report on the number of foreign nationals who have been issued with work permits in Kenya, indicating the duration of the work permits for the last 5 years. Second, a report on the status of all foreign nationals in Kenya whose permits have expired as at January 2026, and an indication of actions being taken by the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to identify, monitor, legally remove foreign nationals illegally working in the country following expiry of their permits. And 3, the steps being taken by the ministry to ensure foreigners are not issued with work permits for skills that are readily available in the local labor force in order to reduce unemployment rate among Kenyans.
Sasa mwende murai wense Dr. William Samuel Ruto nigene kiribune sabari yogotori nsi ya Kenya kurwa sichingatare aon gegendrete yogo ikaboro asamugendro na munchirilyo aikiraniwe ne serikali. Ruto kakwara chinga ki araito moyiga bwoko babekere gutwa borokiwa ba National Intelligence and Research University nigakwa nerigoro yemeroberio ya magendra buno bwagachwe chipara chisemi konyolera basaya mabaga yemeremo obochenu na yande amange chinga kyabakwaneri bande na barabo bakwanira mangana aho aywa bwatikene nense ya Kenya.
Going forward, Your Excellency, we remain steadfast in our commitment to our vision and fulfillment of our mandate as a specialized institution of strategic national importance. To esteemed graduates, today's graduation theme, Preparing Leaders for a Complex World, defines the prevailing operating environment. The spirit of our theme embodies the persons you have become after 2 years in Nyiru. You have been trained, nurtured, prepared to operate in this unique operating environment. We are confident that you have acquired the knowledge to navigate the complex world, and we challenge you to uphold the values and ideals of your alma mater. Step out boldly, never forgetting that every achievement begins with one determined or bold step. I wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and I challenge you to consider advancing your academic ambition beyond your current or today's achievement.
It is important for us to believe in God, to believe in ourselves, and to believe in our nation. If you have a problem believing in your nation, don't look for somebody to blame. Go to the mirror. That is the person to blame. We all have a responsibility for the good and for the progress of our nation. This university, the National Intelligence Research University, have a role to play in what I have said. I have said the security of the nation is a critical enabler for our transformation. Intelligence has a role in security. The believe in ourselves and not succumb to social media narratives and fake news and misinformation and disinformation and everything in between that undermines public trust, that undermines the belief in our nation, you have a role to play.
Your Excellency's unwavering support and strategic guidance have enabled this institution to make major leaps towards and forward in the shortest possible time. Your Excellency, as a ministry, we are proud that through these academic programs, this university has lived true to its charter by focusing on its niche area of intelligence education and applied research. And as you continue telling us, no country can proceed or can develop beyond its knowledge. This is a unique area in our higher education ecosystem that is designed to build the human capital that our intelligence community and the security sector require.
I want to congratulate the graduates, and I believe that this spirit of bringing together all Africans in one class is taking us back to where we were as Africans. For example, in East Africa community, most of our founding fathers and mothers of our nations studied together, whether it was in Makerere or it was in Dar es Salaam University. And it became, their networks became extremely important when it came to nation building and in terms of exchange of ideas and building an East African community. And so if we have to build a better and stronger African Union, this is the way to go, is to have students from other countries coming to Kenya and to have also students from Kenya going to study in other countries to foster regional and international cooperation.
The trajectory NIRU has taken is fully aligned with your directives at the award of the Charter. Particularly, your call to strengthen intra-African collaboration in the security realm and to expand Global South capabilities through advanced education and research. The diversity and dynamism reflected in our student body today stands as clear evidence that this vision is already taking root. This year, Your Excellency, NIRU intends to extend its footprint further by admitting students from at least 32 African countries. This expansion reflects our unwavering commitment to fully realize our Pan-African vision and mission. In further pursuit of its mandate, the university is undertaking several transformative initiatives. These include the expansion of our physical infrastructure as exemplified by the Loresho campus, where we gather today, which is designed to accommodate our growing faculty, students, and research ambitions. We are also establishing a dedicated language center and developing a science and innovation center to strengthen interdisciplinary excellence. This reflects our determination to place science, innovation, and technology at the heart of our institutional growth in line with our 2024-2029 strategic plan.
Eye ni Ensoko TV, uboroso bw'umugusi. Obutindi n'obusumbasi amate ninkikere tokore.
Asamarieta ngoroko munyagitari bosire koru Betami Rehabilitation Center. Betami Rehabilitation Center togotoka asegusi ensemo ya Gesonso na Nairobi ga ogoche ensemo ya Ungatarunga Xerian Road. Ime ya Betami nigo togo konya abantu bari amaruna mariogo yogotindi asariri obongo bwabo. Togo konya abantu buna umwana funzi orenge kwa ende university ongere gotumia amaruna mariogo yogotindi amosariri wono yaikire kiwango guikarwari panya oroyo onde olenge kwende kanisa utigire onge akonywa mariogo yogotindi na amaru abasari erio twabaretaga betami twabarwari erinde obugima bwabo bwirane gochaso obugima obi
asamange twakirisimia namba 07 06 84 0844 Betami Rehabilitation Center lichi buriyo gukora chingatale icy'obutindu. Eye ni Ensoko TV, uboroso bw'umugusi.
Karibu raide mwanchumo rigereri hune nchira ya moyo kwa kiobo kwa ryo yemye county ya Nairobi ngomu governor Johnson Sakaja atwarte ege karo kiabene no muraiwense William Ruto ase nyombene ne yoburayi mi mucho Nairobi ukwana Ruto nigo aene kiri bwagachia wechichiro aona boigo ko bwatrana ukwo korachi ko ene kiwa egati ya serikali ya county ya Nairobi amo ne county serikali ya county Nairobi amo ne serikali enene abwase mu governor we county ya Nairobi Johnson Sakaja amo nabakwani libanda abange na barabwo baereire uko bwatrana ukukorachi ko ene kibune county ya Nairobi ngogendererwere ase enchera erendonge buna barubeire.
This ceremony is convened pursuant to Article 189, subsection 1 of the Constitution, to witness the signing of intergovernmental cooperation agreement between the national government and the Nairobi City County government. The agreement anchors the framework for promotion of social and economic development in the capital city in accordance with Section 6 of the Urban Areas and Cities Act, Cap 275 laws of Kenya. This ceremony further underscores our unique constitutional architecture of governance, which recognizes the national and county governments as distinct yet interdependent. It also affirms the imperative of intergovernmental relations as provided under Section 24 to 29 of the Intergovernmental Relations Act. This seminal cooperation that will be executed this afternoon acknowledges the unique status of the Nairobi city as the seat of government and host to diplomatic missions accredited to Kenya. This position necessitates close collaboration between the two levels of government in the provision and maintenance of critical infrastructure essential to sustaining the nation's global competitiveness. Your Excellency, in heralding a new chapter in the management of our nation's capital, the cooperation agreement shall be executed by the Prime Cabinet Secretary on behalf of the national government and by the Governor of Nairobi City County on behalf of the county government.
We have been partnering in a number of issues, such as the Nairobi Rivers Commission and the regeneration of the river, water provision to the city, the school food feeding program, which has a separate agreement, roads and mobility, markets, housing, among other areas. This agreement solidifies those arrangements, providing a legal framework for additional support, including partnership in security and order. Because, Your Excellency, we promised a city of order, dignity, hope, and opportunity. Next year, Nairobi will be hosting the Africa Cup of Nations, a historic opportunity. This agreement will help us to be able to provide additional infrastructure necessary for a successful tournament. We're on the journey to Singapore, and Nairobi will not be left behind. This is the capital of Singapore, Excellency. The capital city will remain at the center of the transformation to first world status. This agreement provides for a two-tier governance structure for its successful implementation. The steering committee, which will be chaired by the Prime Cabinet Secretary as the coordinator of national government ministries and agencies, deputized by myself, and comprising of cabinet secretaries as well as county staff, will set the overall policy goals and direction. The day-to-day execution of programs and projects will be overseen by the implementation committee, which will be chaired by the Governor of Nairobi and will comprise principal secretaries from the national government as well as county executive committee members responsible for corresponding functions. We thank you for seeing the need and unique place of the capital city and for your support.
The whole idea of you leading and saying that we have to do much more for Nairobi, for this country, for the capital city. And we have to go beyond the comfort zones that have been there so that we do something extraordinary, but within the law, is really a serious mark of leadership. Nairobi has always had the hub status. We have moved and talked and praised ourselves, patted ourselves on the back, sometimes thumped our chests about Nairobi. But do you know what, ladies and gentlemen? The truth is, we are facing serious competition. For those of you who have been to Addis Ababa lately, you will see exactly what I'm talking about. If you have been to Uganda and you look at what is happening even at the airport, you will see that changes are taking place. Go to Luanda in Angola. Go to Zambia, Lusaka. We must break away from the comfort zone.
Sisi tuko kusaidia kwa sababu katiba na sheria inatupa nafasi ya kushirikiana kati ya serikali ya kaunti na serikali ya kitaifa. Sheria ya miji specifically inatupatia nafasi ya national government na Nairobi City County, mahali capital city ya Kenya iko, kufanya kazi kwa mpango. Na ndio sababu hiyo leo tuko hapa. Sio kwa sababu ya uchaguzi inayokuja, sio kwa sababu tuko na AFCON, hapana. Tunafanya hivi because it is the right thing to do. This is what we must do. We are doing it for ourselves. Yes, we are doing it for our country, for the residents of the city of Nairobi and for the people of Kenya. Tunafanya hivyo kwa sababu hiyo. So, hakuna sababu ingine ambayo mtu atatafuta kusema pengine huyu anatafuta hii ama anatafuta ile. Mimi nilifanya campaign pamoja na huyu mungwana. Tulikubaliana na watu wa Nairobi, hii Nairobi haiwezi kuwa mji wa takataka. Today, my friends, let's be honest with ourselves. Nairobi River is a sewer, right? Right, going through the city. The center of the city is a sewer line. And it is supposed to be okay. How is it supposed to be okay? Nairobi is not merely another devolved unit. Nairobi is our capital, the seat of the Republic, and the nerve center of national administration. It hosts diplomatic missions from across the world. It is home to 2 United Nations agencies. Nairobi is the only UN headquarters presence in the global south, and it stands as a commercial, financial, and innovation hub of our region. For many visitors and investors, Nairobi is not just the face of Kenya. Nairobi is Kenya. That standing carries a serious obligation. A capital city must work, as Governor would tell us. It must function. It must meet the highest standards of order, infrastructure, efficiency, and service delivery, not only for its 5 million residents, but also for the millions who depend on it every day. Yet, the fiscal and operational framework of county financing was not designed for a capital city of this scale and responsibility. Nairobi carries national, regional, and global obligations, but is funded largely through the same formula as other counties. Going forward, construction of new roads will now include lighting by design. There will be no road constructed now in the city going forward. Part of the contract will be lighting, so that the road is not complete until it is lit. Ladies and gentlemen, across the city's 9 major informal settlements, families sometimes pay more for illegal electricity than residents in formal estates pay legally. In some cases, people in informal settlements pay up to 150% more. This is an injustice we must correct. I'm sure MCAs here know. The member of County Assembly from Mathare Hospital has been on my case.
Ase ensemo yende mambia yabonekera tukurireria ryagendrete edakika ingabune igabuna tugendrete gukwana umurayi bwense Dr. William Samuel Ruto magega ye serikali yensetu ya Kenya amo osekubwaterana amo ne serikali ya county Nairobi gochakyo murubirio bwogo sibya na boigo kwerekina ankorusibale eubi ase oroche rwa Nairobi nige mambia bono umurayi bwense Dr. William Samuel Ruto waziri Alice Wahome na boigo ase ensemo yende umugabara we county ya Nairobi baikire ase ensemo yo erikoligerina na ryaya agendrete ase umurubirio yoigo mugima wo kwene kibuna oroche rwa Nairobi ngosibigurore na boigo korusiwa eubi eria yabeire gyakorekana aro erikwerekina amache ayong na nkobare amarabu na boigo elio achigotumekwa n'abantu be county yega ya Nairobi amone chinsemo chide tigango turarire na ryaya agendrete ase enseme yugo sase etare yo yumurayi bwense no mugabara we county ya Nairobi asokolire meroberio yebwatikaine no gosibyo roche rwa Nairobi aya maseyemo gwika ase enseme yemambia bono.
Excellence, Which side? Hey. Mazungumzo. DJ tafadhali.
gotigana nayo agendere tasumurubiro yogendere tukura uno murai wense asense mwende tukwira na bakase county ya Nakuru chiamate emia ya muraisano asense mwe ya maimayu awanyore tugwa kwokone na magiga yetu kwirira abantu 50 no mugukwa na bandi gutigirwa gutigara batabwati bumenyo ni serikali ya bwatukiri chita si ya bwatukiri title deed iri kubakonya banyore ase bakomenya murubiro yo right no mukonyi bo murai wense Professor Kidure Kindiki ni gaerere bune serikali nere amona brabu goika banyore obumenyo na kugendereria asubugima bwabono.
So hapa katika Mai Mahiu kuna soko ya Mai Mahiu inakuja kutengenezewa kupitia national government. Kwa hivyo yule anasema hivyo, kuna yako umetengeneza? Hiyo inakuja kutengenezwa. Sawa sawa. Mai Mahiu, Kenungi, Dabibi, Oserian. Soko 4 katika Naivasha. Hiyo ni kazi, sio kazi. Si ndio hiyo? Hiyo ni kazi inafanyika. Katika affordable housing na katika kutengeneza hapa pia kuna wafanyikazi wanapata kazi kwa ile kazi zinaendelea. Si ndio hiyo? Affordable housing hapa Mai Mahiu katika special economic zone kutakuwa na affordable housing. Pale Karagita kiwanja ndege affordable housing na iko already. Si ndio? Na iko. Pale Buffalo si mshaona? Mwenye macho wewe, mwenye macho, si ndio hiyo? Kazi inafanyika na itaendelea kufanyika. Kwa hivyo Buffalo pana affordable housing. Pale Longonot Tivet pana hostels. Pale Karagita NYS pana hostels. Kaimwedaga atia. Oserian pia soko iko kule, inakuja kule. Si ndio hiyo? Katika titling program through the county government ya Nakuru pia. Hapa Mai Mahiu town tunafanya titles so that wale wako na plots muwe na titles. Pale Old Kijabe tunafanya titles. Sawa sawa. Pale Longonot Pia Center tunafanya titles. Viwandani titles. Lakeview titles na Kafati. Kazi inaendelea haiendelei. Kazi inaendelea haiendelei.
Tuko hapa na nikifikiria juu ya ile sababu imetuleta hapa. I want to thank watu wa Mai Mahiu kwa sababu mmetugojea na mkakubali against a lot of incitement ya kwamba kazi inaendelea. Hiyo kazi, Your Excellency, ndio tupate shamba. Hawa watu ndio walienda kutafuta, wakatuonyesha rais wetu na wewe mkatusaidia kutafuta pesa. Kwa hivyo mimi sitaki niseme zaidi ya hapo, lakini nimesikia maneno ya market. Nitaasiliana na rais na deputy president ndio tujue soko ya Mai Mahiu. Governor akituonyesha tukubaliane na nyinyi, pesa tuko nayo ya kujenga soko.
Leo Your Excellency, leo tuko na titles 105 ya wale watu waliadhiriwa na hii mambo yenye ilifanyika hapa Mai Mahiu. Na Your Excellency, kuna wale watu ambao tumeelezwa utatupatia amri ndio tuweze tuone vile tutafanya mambo yao. Na nataka niseme hivi, kila mtu ambaye anafaa kupata title zake, title zote ziko hapa. Na leo title tutapeana zote. Jana waziri tuliweza kuonyesha watu 30 mashamba zao. Leo tutaonyesha wale watakuwa wamechukua matitle mashamba zao na tutamaliza kesho. So kila mtu mwenye atakuwa na title yake by kesho jioni atakuwa ameonyesha shamba yake, aweze kufence shamba yake na aweze kujenga.
Tukiendelea kwa hiyo safari ya kujenga kabla na nini, kumekuja mambo mengine ambayo inaweza fanya hii kazi yetu ikue imeisha. Kwa sababu wale watu wa Kidong mahali huwa tunachota mchanga wamesema ya kwamba wanataka kuja shamba lao. So Your Excellency, the Deputy President ukishirikiana na Her Excellency the Governor, tunakuomba ya kwamba kunayo mpango ambao tuko nayo ya kununua hiyo shamba, na kwa sababu hiyo shamba sisi mahali tunachota mchanga ni area kubwa sana, hatuwezi nunua sisi peke yetu. So tunakuomba Your Excellency utusaidie, kwa sababu sisi vikundi za mchanga tunakuwa watu wengi sana. Tunakuwa zaidi ya vikundi 50 ambazo zinabeba watu zaidi ya 100, kumaanisha ya kwamba watu ambao wana benefit directly kwa hiyo mchanga wanakuaga watu zaidi ya 5,000. Na ukifanya hesabu, hawa watu wako na mabibi, wako na watoto. Kwa hivyo ni kumaanisha huu mji wa Mai Mahiu inasaidiwa na watu wa mchanga. So hii kazi yetu ikiisha, sisi wote tumeisha. Jambo la mwisho, High Excellency. Sisi watu wa Mchaga tumefanya kazi kwa muda mrefu sana. Na kuna sesi ambayo iko hapa juu, ambayo imeenda kwa miaka mingi. Tunakuomba sisi kama watu wa Mchanga, kwa unyenyekevu ya kwamba zile magari huwa zinapita pale juu. Tunakuomba hata kama ni 100 kwa gari ama 200, sisi tunakuomba uturudishie. Na hiyo sio mambo ya kusema, unajua kuna wengine umesema sio overnight, lakini saa hii hiyo unaweza sema ni leo, na leo tuende pale tuchukue hiyo pesa itufaidi sisi wenyewe. So nakuomba madam, sisi tunakuwa na shida mingi sana, kwa sababu utapata ya kwamba watu wetu wanakufa kwa janga la mchanga, lakini hatuwezi kuwasaidia. Lakini tukipata kitu kidogo pale, madam, nakuomba tafadhali, tukipata kitu kidogo pale, hakuna wakati tutaomba msaada kwa mtu, hakuna wakati tutalilia mtu, watu wetu tutakuwa tunawapeleka hospitali, kwa sababu kazi ambayo huwa tunafanya inakuwa kazi gumu sana. Asanteni, Mungu awabariki.
Tumefika hapa kwa sababu kuna mkasa ambaye ulipatikana, na ule mkasa tukapoteza watu wetu, na leo tumekuja hapa kwa sababu ya waathiriwa. Tunaendelea kusema pole kwa wale ambao walipata hiyo mkasa, na tuko hapa kwa sababu tungetaka kuhakikisha kwamba tumesaidia wale ambao walipata mkasa kupata mahali pa kuishi. Na nimesikia iko group mbili hapa. Kuna wale ambao walikuwa wamejenga na nyumba zao zikachukuliwa na maji, na wengine walikuwa wamekodisha. Sasa vile nimefika hapa, wale wote ambao walikuwa wamejenga nyumba zikachukuliwa na maji watapata ardhi, na wale wote pia walikuwa wamekodisha, pia hao tutawatafutia makao. Na nataka niseme ya kwamba maneno ya land compensation, ile ardhi imepatikana. Wale ambao walikuwa wamejenga watapewa ardhi leo, tutatoka hapa na title deed. Na wale walikuwa wamekodisha, hata hao nimeamrisha Wizara ya Ardhi, baada ya kushauriana na Rais, hata wale ambao walikuwa wamekodisha mutapewa ardhi. Waziri yako na hiyo instructions. Wenye walikuwa wamejenga wanapewa shamba, wenye walikuwa wamekodisha pia hao tunawashughulikia. Alafu wote 105 members of the public, 105 families, those who had built their houses, plus the 56 families that had rented buildings that were also destroyed. The entire group, 105 plus 56, the government of President William Ruto today is providing with you with 20,000 shillings ya kukusaidia kwenda kujenga mahali mnaenda. Wacha nirudie, familia zote zitapata ardhi, wale walikuwa wamejenga na wale walikuwa wamekodisha. Familia zote zitapata pesa ya kuwasaidia kujenga, wale walikuwa wamekodisha, wale walikuwa wamejenga. Na leo hiyo 20,000 for family ya kuwasaidia kwenda kujenga for 161 families, mimi naacha hapa na Governor Susan Kihika. Tuendelee tusiendelee? Ni fire si fire? Ni noma si noma?
ase hayabwatikana n'oboremi chinse chorogongo rwa Africa nigo chiaborige kubwatirana eri gukinia ebirengo by'oboremi bw'echinswe ga gukora enchara nabo igo gusira oboremi asinchira ao korengana no director entenenera bwa mangana yobo tugigo sa mangana y'oboremi bw'echinswe imeyense Joseph Mahonga asige karo kya matukata tokya expert training workshop on strengthening regional capacity on monitoring, control and surveillance systems ikyo kigendera tase county ya Mombasa niko kubwatirana n'abakwani bande bakwanira mange ayo abwatikaine n'oboremi bw'echinswe asenseto ya Kenya nabo igasobwagare asorogongo rwa Africa nabo igo konyorera chinswe echiro buna eganirie kokorekana.
This training is focused on strengthening MCS systems in the management of fisheries and aquatic biodiversity, conservation, and environmental protection in the IGAD region. It is of great significance in the management of aquatic resources given that the region has 6,960 kilometers of coastline with the Indian Ocean, Gulf of Aden, Gulf of Tajura, and the Red Sea, in addition to inland water bodies that support aquatic life. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the government of Kenya wishes to note with appreciation the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, SIDA, efforts in partnering with Africa's development efforts. It is particularly gratifying to know that the support to the conserving aquatic biodiversity in the Africa Blue Economy Project has been extended to up to 14th June 2027. This extension will allow for the implementation of outstanding project activities, including support to this training in line with the AU-IBAS effort to strengthen monitoring, control, and surveillance systems to combat illegal and reported and regulated IUU fishing and protect aquatic biodiversity. Ladies and gentlemen, despite the significant reforms undertaken by the government of Kenya, such as the enactment of a very robust fisheries law that establishes the Kenya Fisheries Service as a regulator, a separate entity for the policy division for targeted focus, formulation of and development of marine and inland fisheries regulations, formulation of the monitoring, control, and surveillance regulations to operationalize the Act, establishment of a Kenya Coast Guard services for the protection of maritime resources, amongst other functions, the gazettement of Liwatoni Fishing Port as in compliance with the Port State Measures Agreement, and the membership in Regional Fisheries Management Organization as a contracting state with obligations due to the state. IUU fishing continues to be an ever-present threat due to the inadequate capacity in the form of physical resources, technology, and skills to be deployed in the fight. It is estimated that Kenya loses up to 45 billion shillings annually due to IUU fishing. The loss is attributed to direct economic loss in the value of the resource, threats to food security, social drivers of poverty and employment, environmental degradation, and health-related opportunity costs. I am certain that the same challenges are obtained in other IGAD member states, hence the need for harmonious mitigating strategy.
So if you look at Mombasa, you see the clean beaches, you see the ports, the busy shipping, the ferry travel, and the fishing, the blue economy, tourism activities, and the big hotels, the monitoring and control centers, and the MPA or the marine protected area, which demonstrates the region, and also restoration activities like mangrove restoration and other activities by the government of Kenya. And also you can find one of the biggest research centers in blue economy here, Kemfree, which is headquartered in Mombasa. So Mombasa is a true land of blue economy. One of the water resources we have is the fishing activity, the traditional fishing activity. The fish stocks that provide essential food security to our communities and livelihoods for the artisanal fishers and revenue for the national economies are being plundered nowadays. The term we use usually is IUU fishing, illegal, unreported, unregulated fishing. IUU fishing is just unequivocally we can provide a term that probably it is an ecological sabotage of an industrial scale. It's not a merely regulatory infraction of the region, but it is a big industrial scale loss of the fish stocks. In the IGAD region, we lose on average about $500 million every year. Most of the fishing, illegal fishing, takes place in the coasts of Somalia. So this training is very timely to curb this challenge. Our member states face the challenges with inherently asymmetric capacities. We speak of exclusive economic zone that spans hundreds of thousands of square kilometers and thousands of kilometers coastlines. For instance, for the Somalia Navy or Coast Guard office, if it plans to make a patrol all the coastlines, more than 3,333 coastline lengths. So it is like driving from Mombasa to Cape Town. So the financial and logistical burden is massive for any single country, let alone for some of the countries navigating in a complex challenge of development, and also in some cases fragility, peace and security challenges are there also. So combined with all problems, navigating or patrolling the fishing area in our region has become a very big burden in terms of logistics.
As you are all aware, unreported, unregulated, and unreported illegal fishing activities in Africa are a major concern with regards to sustainability of aquatic biodiversity that include, among others, unauthorized fishing in closed areas or seasons, illegal fishing, transshipment at sea, fishing with forged and fraudulent licenses of vessels registrations, unreported and misreported catches, fishing threatened, endangered and protected species, dumping of toxic waters, ecosystem and environmental degradation, pollutions, amongst others. And Africa's annual share of the global IUU catch has been estimated at 4.7 million tons of fish at a conservatively estimated value of $10 billion. And the weak MCS systems have largely contributed to increased incidences of unsustainable practices and reduction in population of valuable fish species. They've also resulted in the loss of aquatic biodiversity in African large marine ecosystem and inland waters, posing a significant threat to food security, livelihoods, and income with over an estimated 200 people that depend on these valuable resources. It is a common knowledge that a single state solution to combating IUU fishing is not feasible, the incidences being largely transboundary in nature. Therefore, this calls for a coordinated regional effort towards combating this menace in African waters. There is a need for capacity building of regional MCS personnel towards combating the IUU fishing menace, and the national and regional priorities and capacities towards collaboration on MCS must be identified and strengthened towards comprehensive regional MCS system.
Chira kaisano na ibiri chuka cha tigere chira chinse isano ne moche bon bo basura gwikira buno to gwikira omwerio bwo murubiri yega Etorobini ase elia rero ria tutkiriga ria Jumatano gendera kubwate mirubiri ndi atigere ase ritukorigimo na boigo nyama na soko chora Ensoko TV oboroso bumu gusigwe ikenga kienda na ndekera turomira ne embeo kolinde chinse isano ne ibiri chabone mu baso Innocent Onyango na chikoira na igago se nuchikumira na monere kara choko ya letra amaye ase enchira yobwenge chinse isano ne ibiri cha Afrika ya mocha gwikanga kienda riteriane Ishmael Mogere.